Okay, so I have some more next steps for what's the plan. So I was told the next cycle to call a fertility clinic and we would get scheduled for calendaring for February. So I started my cycle today and I went and picked up my prescription. So I'm going to be on norethindrone, birth control for, well, when I calendar I'll get more of a timeline, but I start that on Friday, so day 3 of my cycle. And then on this coming Monday I have our calendaring, and I'll know more after that. So that's kind of our next steps, our next plans. We'll be calendaring for an IVF in February. Okay, the update now is on Monday we had our IVF calendaring consultation, and so I'm actually just gonna go through like one of the things. It's not exactly what we went over, but some of the things. So like the plan of care appointment was what we had. So this checklist kind of has like go through what we have to start with. So that financial consultation, we actually did that consultation last year, and then this year they just sent me an updated email with those numbers, and they actually had changed, which was interesting to me. It is a little more expensive, which is unfortunate, but and they actually changed a little bit of things that aren't on it anymore. I kind of wanted to ask about that because there was a couple things that they didn't have listed, so I wondered if they just do that and now it's included in the lump sum that you pay, or if they just got rid of it and they don't do it anymore, which I thought would be interesting because that thing, well, a couple of those things were things that I've heard good things about doing. Follow-up visit with the physician, which is Dr. Conway. I kind of want to do that because from everyone that I've talked to, they're all basically like, yeah, we're still unexplained infertility, but until we have something else go wrong, like, we don't even know what to test. But I'm like, let's just test everything up front. Like, I do all of the blood work. I'll do, like, I mean, like, with a transfer, some of the things you don't know would be helpful until, like, actual transfer time. And I think I'll probably push for, like, possibly, like, an ERA. Just because, like, my endometrial lining has been one of the pain points in mine. So we'll see. I kind of still want to do that follow-up appointment, but I just want more answers and we don't have them, and so that's a little bit frustrating for me. Okay, the next one is to call Idaho Fertility Center with my cycle day 1, and I did do that before we had this calendaring, and they told me they put in a prescription for norethindrone, and then said to start taking it on cycle day 3. And I had called them back after I picked it up because I did not want to be taking it for 2 months, because that was when we were planning like to do February cycle. And so I was like, I'm not going to take this for 2 months. I know I've been on birth control before and it was not a great experience, so I did not want to do that. So I didn't start, well, I called them. Nobody answered the first day. I left a message. It says do not keep calling and leaving messages because then you get further on the queue. And so I didn't hear anything that day. I called back the next day and just didn't leave a message, but I still didn't receive a call back. So I didn't start taking it on cycle day 3. And so before this meeting on Monday, I told her that, and based on the calendaring we did, it should be okay if I start my next cycle, start taking that on cycle day 3, and we should have enough time before we start like any of our stims and stuff like that. So that is coming up. That'll be next month. And then some of the things that we have scheduled is some genetic, we did decide to do the genetic carrier screening testing, and that's blood work. So I will be going the next time in Idaho Falls. Me and Jeremy both will be doing that blood work and getting all of that done. And I guess that takes a couple weeks to come back. So that's good that we're getting that done this month. And then I do have to have another water ultrasound, and I don't have to have my HSG, which is really helpful because I've already had 2 of those. And the first time it was so painful, and the second time was like a breeze for me. So they were very different experiences. They were also several years apart, but I was just really glad I don't have to do that again. So I do have to do the water ultrasound, and that'll be day 6 through 10 of my cycle, or when I'm on birth control. So we'll do that next month, get that scheduled. And then I did have to be up to date on my pap smear, which I am, so that's helpful. That's within like 3 years of it happening. Jeremy will do another semen analysis, but that won't be until like when we like are right before the actual IVF calendaring stuff starts. And then that was it. We had to figure out where our prescriptions need to be sent to. They did send off the request to insurance, so they said that usually takes about 2 or 3 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks is what they said, but last time, because we have requested this through insurance before, they got back to us within like a week and a half or 2 weeks, so it was pretty quick. But we already know that there's a couple things like ICSI we will be doing, but we have to pay for that. Our insurance doesn't cover any of that, and we do have some coverage from insurance, so that's helpful. And we were able to look into Alto Pharmacy, which previously we had actually, I'll probably get into this because I think I'll do like a financial side of things, because that was like, and has been, a really big like pain point in doing IVF because it's so expensive, and we're like, this is going to be our only time because of how expensive it is. And even with insurance coverage, like we still have a lot to pay. It's like not even that much different than like the self-pay option that they have, that they like present to you, because when they send it, they're like, okay, if insurance doesn't come back or they deny this, then it'll all be self-pay. And that's what happened last year, is we decided not to do it self-pay because we had to have those 3 IUIs and we had only done 1. And so anyway, that's kind of the update on the pre-cycle instructions. And then I got my calendar. I printed it out and everything because this visit was just over the phone. But I'll start my calendar in January and then in February, and I kind of have a lot of like ultrasounds and blood work that they called and we scheduled that, so it's on the calendar, so that's really helpful. So yeah, we just in January we'll have all those meds delivered. We'll order them, and you have to have them before the baseline ultrasound. They ask you to have them. I mean, because I have to start taking meds like a couple days after that. So that's kind of the deal. That's where we're off to next, and it's exciting and terrifying and all of the things. I feel like everyone's been like, oh, congratulations, that's so exciting. And I'm like, I don't really know if it is exciting. Like, it is because it's the next step, but it's also a little bit terrifying because like the STIM medication, like all the side effects from that, actually going through the process of the egg retrieval, and then all of that is its own thing. So anyway, there's just a lot, and I'm really glad that we have it on the calendar, that we can like look forward to it and be moving forward with something, like having a plan in place. But anyway, I have a couple other things that I also will be doing, is like a shopping list of a couple things I need to have before my baseline ultrasound, and they're just like from regular stores, so I will be getting those as well and getting all that prep ready to go. Okay, here is another little update. On the 27th, Jeremy and I came in to get some blood work done, and that was some blood work we had already done before, that it's been about a year since we had done. And then we also sent in for the genetic screening blood work. And so they took that. That one is sent in to like a third-party person, so we'll have to wait a little bit for that one. I think they said 2 weeks before we have those results. And then one of my test results, prolactin, came back high. So they called me the next day, and well, actually that was yesterday because it was over the weekend, but they called me back and they said they wanted me to redo that blood test with me fasting. So I started fasting last night. I came in today to get that done. And then I do need to have a water ultrasound done. And while I was here, I wanted to schedule that because I know I'll be coming in to do Idaho Falls again on the 15th of January. And so I scheduled it for that day. So I have that scheduled, and then our next thing, well, I'll call with my cycle day 1, and then I will also, then I'll start birth control, and then come in for that water ultrasound, and then the 24th is when we start everything. So Jeremy and I need to get on top of ordering our meds. We have the pharmacies that we need to send them to, and I think I need to send that information to our coordinator, just because we had talked about it on the phone, but I didn't know for sure what my specialty pharmacy was through our insurance. So we know where that is, we know the other place we're gonna send it, so we just need to get on top of that so we can get those ordered, because we will need those before the 24th. So exciting next steps.